It started like any other morning. You hit snooze, you rubbed your eyes, you reached for your phone, and then you froze. Your screen was flooded. Hundreds of notifications, maybe thousands, messages from numbers you didn't recognize, alerts from apps you forgot you had, news headlines with your name in them. You blinked again, and then you opened your bank app. The number didn't make sense. It couldn't be real. You kept scrolling to the left, waiting for the decimal point, but it never came. Billions. With a B. You sat up in bed, heart pounding, hands shaking. This can't be real. You turned on the TV. Your face was on it. You opened Twitter. Your name was trending. #1, globally. Every major news channel, every newspaper, every podcast was saying the same thing. Overnight, an unknown individual has become the single wealthiest person alive. And that person was you. You didn't inherit it. You didn't win it. It just appeared, verified, legitimate, yours. You tested it. You transferred a small amount to a friend. It went through. You bought something online. It worked. It was real. And the moment that landed, really landed, something electric shot through your chest. You started laughing. You couldn't stop. You could go anywhere, do anything, buy anything. The whole world had just opened up like a door you never even knew existed. The first week was a dream. A new home. No, a mansion. Multiple mansions. One in the mountains, one by the ocean, one in the city you always wanted to live in. Cars you used to see in magazines now parked in your driveway. Private flights. 5-star everything. You hired people to handle the details. Lawyers, assistants, advisors. They made every problem disappear before you even noticed it existed. You donated to causes you cared about. Big donations, the kind that make the news. You called your family and said, "I've got you. Whatever you need, it's done." Life felt like it was finally running at the speed it was supposed to. You had power. You had freedom. You had control. For a little while, everything felt perfect. But then, something changed. The reporters outside your gate stopped writing stories about your generosity. They started asking different questions. Where did the money actually come from? Why you? Why not someone who earned it? What does this person actually stand for? Social media turned. Fast. Memes, accusations, people speculating about corruption, about secrets, about things that were never true. You tried to explain. You gave interviews. You posted statements. But the more you said, the worse it got. Something you'd said 3 years ago, something completely harmless, completely taken out of context, was now a headline. You started to feel it. A low, quiet discomfort you couldn't shake, like you were being watched, judged, measured against a standard nobody had explained to you. And then it started happening at home. Your friends stopped replying as fast. Then they stopped replying at all. One of them said they were busy. Another said they didn't want to be in the spotlight. One just disappeared. Family gatherings got weird. People were polite, but something was missing. That easy, comfortable warmth, it was gone. Someone you loved, someone you trusted completely, sat across from you one evening and said the words that hit harder than anything the media ever printed. "You've changed." You wanted to argue. You wanted to say, "No, I haven't. I'm the same person. I just have more money now." But deep down, a small voice whispered, "Have you?" You decided to fight back the only way you knew how. You announced a massive donation. Schools in underserved communities, clean water projects, mental health clinics, real, meaningful work. You held a press conference. You stood up there with genuine hope that maybe, finally, people would see that you meant well. The headlines the next morning: richest person buys goodwill with charity stunt. Experts question motives behind sudden generosity. Is this just guilt? People held signs outside your foundation's opening, not thanking you, protesting you. You pulled back from the spotlight, and that made it worse. See, they don't actually want to help. They just want the attention. There was no right answer. There was no move you could make that the world would accept. You were too rich to be trusted, too visible to be forgiven, too powerful to be liked. Have you ever been lonely in a place that has everything? It's a specific kind of pain, because you can't even explain it to anyone. You're the richest person alive. What could you possibly have to complain about? But the rooms were too big. The hallways went on too long. The staff were kind, but they weren't your people. You'd scroll through your phone and see photos from dinners you used to go to, laughs you used to be part of, simple, ordinary, beautiful moments that you were no longer invited to. The money was still there, all of it, every single cent. But it couldn't hold a conversation. It couldn't laugh at your jokes. It couldn't sit next to you on the couch and just be there. And then, one night, alone in that big house, your phone buzzed. Unknown number, no name, just a message. 3 words. Do you understand now? You stared at the screen. Before you could respond, another message came through, then another. Documents, records, evidence. The wealth hadn't appeared by accident. It wasn't a glitch. It wasn't a miracle. It was deliberate, orchestrated, a test. Someone or something had given you everything on purpose, to watch what happened, to see who you became. You sat there for a long time, not angry, not scared, just thinking. Because the more you turned it over in your mind, the more you realized something uncomfortable. Another message arrived. You have a choice. Option 1, keep everything. The money stays, the power stays. But this is your life now. Manage distance, public suspicion, and rooms that echo. Option 2, give it back. Wake up tomorrow exactly where you were. Your old apartment, your old bank account, your old ordinary underestimated life. You thought about your friends, the real ones, back when you had them, the ones you could call at midnight for nothing in particular. You thought about your family, the way they used to look at you, not with awe or suspicion, just love. You thought about who you were before the money arrived, and whether you liked that person more. The answer came quietly, like it had been waiting there all along. You woke up. Small apartment, familiar ceiling, phone with the usual notifications, not thousands, just the regular ones. Bank balance, normal, modest, real. And for the first time in what felt like a very long time, you smiled. Not because things were perfect. They weren't. Life was still messy and complicated and full of problems that money could have solved. But the people around you were there because they wanted to be, not because of what you had, because of who you were. And here's what I want you to really hear. Slow down. Make this land. Wealth is a tool. It can build things, open doors, create opportunities. But it cannot manufacture meaning. It cannot replace connection. And it will never, not once, make you feel seen by people who weren't looking at you to begin with. The richest life isn't the one with the most money. It's the one where the people around you would stay, even if you had none.